Dante, how do you feel like you performed out there today? Did it meet your expectations, surpass it?
I feel like overall today was just good just to have fun. I mean, if it was negative or positive plays out there, it's really just being out there in the environment with the fans. I mean, that was the biggest piece of it, takeaway. I mean, fans always show out. We have the best fans in the world. So for the fans to come out and come put a great show on for us, I mean, that was the biggest takeaway for me. But overall, I mean, there was a lot of drives where it was just, it was going and it was a stop. But that's just how football works sometimes. But overall, I mean, I was just glad to be out there with my brothers. I feel like we had a great time. The shot was amazing. But overall, it was just a great sunny day in Eugene, so I can't complain.
I want to ask you about your chemistry with the receivers, and obviously you're not throwing to all of them today because the teams are split like that. But just how has that come along this spring, and kind of where you feel like you're at in terms of just that connection with those guys?
Yeah, I feel like Coach Landon here does a really great job for how we do spring. He doesn't really have you with one group the whole spring. I feel like every week we change receivers, O line, or different center, just to get different feels with everybody. But overall, I mean, we have playmakers everywhere, and I just know we have a lot of talent, and I'm just blessed to have that. Especially as a quarterback, giving everybody opportunities to make a play with the ball in their hands. But overall, I mean, the chemistry is always going to keep growing and growing. I mean, this is the first phase of the season, spring ball. Of course, it's going to be a lot of mistakes, but that's good. I mean, if you're perfect, then it's insane how it can be like that. But overall, I'm glad to see mistakes because you get to learn from it, build from it. Especially a lot of the young guys, just teaching a lot of great things. But overall, the chemistry's going to get there for sure.
Looking at the quarterback room as a whole, what did this spring game teach you as a quarterback about the entire quarterback room and how that competition is going to play out the rest until the opening season?
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback room did a great job today. Of course, protecting the ball, making plays, just making smart decisions. Overall, it's just from the oldest to the youngest quarterbacks, I feel like we made plays out there, and it was great to see everybody. I mean, this whole spring we've been doing a great job, being ball players. But overall, I mean, we just did a great job today. We protected the ball, found the open guys, and moved the ball down the field.
You had a couple of long balls today, one to Kenyon, one to Jurion. Just if you can recall the Jurion one, because it seems like that's probably the one that you had the best window and hit him in stride down the sideline there. Just what were you seeing today on a couple of those long plays?
Yeah, I mean, when we have the wideouts we have, of course, we want to take shots. I know I took one at Kyler as well. I feel like it was a touchdown, but it's an incompletion, but hey, it is what it is. But I know I'm playing. Overall, it's just really taking shots to those guys are the best because, that's what they're known for, getting the ball in the air. And I know with Jurion, it was a corner cap pressure. The safety took him one-on-one. So just give him a chance. He's the same class as me. We have a real strong connection. So just give him the ball, let him be a ball player with the ball in his hands, and he did a good job of catching it and keeping himself in bounds. So it was a good chunk. We scored in that drive, so it was pretty good.
Can you just talk about the newcomers to the program on both sides of the ball and where you've seen the most improvement?
With the newcomers, I feel like man, this generation is just different. I mean, with how the talent is overall for like a lot of us young guys. I mean, just the way they come in and just be, real fast, running 22 miles per hour. Having the mindset of in high school that they run good concepts there, so they bring it here and already know kind of a good feel for how we do our concepts here. So overall, I mean, the newcomers came in and balled out. Coach Landon kept saying that they did a really good job coming in, being quiet, is let the work talk. But overall, I mean, on offense and defense, I mean, we got hell of a players. So a lot of great freshmen, and I know a lot of them are going to play for sure.
Your thoughts on just your overall spring of where improvement was and for you personally, and then just the competition at that position. How has that made you better today than it was when you started spring camp?
Yeah, I say this is the best spring I've ever had. This is my third one, and it's crazy to say that, but overall, it's just understanding that I had some goals for me to meet, and I know one of that was being a great leader. By the way I move, of course, on the field, but also just being vocal. I know that's something I had to step up and do, and I feel like I did a really great job with that. Talking to the online, we're in the huddle saying this is going to be a drive, we're going to score. Just keeping everybody positive and letting them know that the quarterback's behind them is going to lead them down the field. So overall, I just did a really good job of leading, vocally. I did a really good job, speeding myself up when it comes to the reads and finding the open players and protecting the ball. So I feel like overall I had a great spring, and I'm blessed, to have the opportunity to have great coaches to help me get better every day.
You and Kenyon seem to have a really great connection. What would you attribute that to, and how have you guys worked to grow that connection?
just give 18 the ball. He's gonna make a play. I mean, that's what I tell Coach Manager every day when I see him. I mean, just give him the ball. I mean, everybody knows, of course, for the famous clip he had against Penn State. When he caught the ball down the sideline for Dylan. Also shout out Dylan. For getting drafted. I was really excited about that. But overall, just Kenny. He just makes plays, man. I mean, every opportunity as an offense, you got to find the best players. Of course, you have multiple of them, but just got to give 18 the ball. He's gonna make a play. I'm glad to have him on my team during the spring. We have a really good connection. He used to live by me. That was my neighbor. So me and him were pretty close about that. But overall, it's just blessed to have him. He's a freak. So with him running 23 miles per hour, it's insane. So glad to have him on my team.
We got time for two more. We'll go here and then back up.
I was just going to ask about Dylan. Obviously, you talked about your relationship with him before. Did you talk to him last night? What was your reaction kind of seeing him get drafted?
Man, I mean, I was on the way to DeCorian's house, and I remember I walked in, and I guess Ryder was texting the group chat that he got drafted, and I didn't know about it. But when I saw it, I mean, I was damn excited. I mean, just him, the adversity, he's played through, going from 3 different schools, people saying his height, saying that he's not a good player. But, I mean, if you look at the stats, it just talks for itself. He's a winner. He's a great competitor. He pushed me a lot, pushed him. So just seeing him get drafted, I was born in East Cleveland. Him in Cleveland now. I feel like, it's a good spot for him to be at, to learn. But overall, I mean, he's a baller. And he always told us baller's ball, so he'll be a baller. So him just being out there, I know he's going to do his thing, keep his head down. But I'm blessed for, to see him go out there and, get drafted. I know he's going to do his right thing and go ball for them.
You didn't get to play with Dylan Gresham today, but he had a really fantastic day. Maybe surprised a lot of fans. What have you seen from him in terms of development?
Yeah, Dylan Gresham. I mean, he's super, super quick. He's a great player with the ball in his hands. He did have a great catch down the sideline. Of course, he was on the opposite team, but I was cheering for them as well. But overall, he was a baller. Opening kick return, almost took it to the house. So him just doing, his thing. Keeping his head down, just working. It's a lot of receivers in our receiving room, but I feel like he's just growing. Just great. He's just growing. The way he just in the playbook, the way he's on the field, and the way he just balls. He's doing his thing, and I'm thankful to have him as a receiver.